Good afternoon and welcome to the Shielded Prepper. This channel's committed to information that'll expand a prepared mind. And today, we had an awesome treat, and I'm going to introduce you to three other gentlemen just visited the Sunshine Mint with me here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I have with me to my right, this is Jason. Jason, who are you with?
I'm with a company called Silver North Resources.
Okay, and you're here. We're at the Silver Symposium right now. What's going on? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we had a great tour this morning at the Silver Mint. Of course, this conference is about silver. That's the Silver Symposium, so it's a great way to kick off the conference is to visit somewhere where they're minting coins.
Yeah, that was awesome, and it was super impressive. Very impressive.
Absolutely.
All right, Mark, you take this next.
All right, sounds good.
So, Mark, you and Jason work together. How long have you guys known each other, and what are you guys doing? What's one of your expectations from the show?
Oh, well,
the event?
it's awesome. I've known Jason for about 15 years, and you know what we do is we go and find that silver that's on the ground there at the mint that they're putting into those coins. It's so amazing to see that part of the process because we work at the early stage part of it, where we try and find the silver on the ground. So it's awesome to see all the coins getting minted there.
They definitely are the top line funnel. They're the initial inputs that go in. So all of these coins that we love holding and the wealth that we're enjoying acquiring, at least when it comes to gold and silver, there's a strong possibility much of it was minted here in Las Vegas or potentially at this mint. Nathaniel, from a manufacturing standpoint as well as just from a management standpoint, what did you notice in that facility that was interesting? It was massive.
Yeah, I saw a lot of theory of constraints and lean manufacturing, kind of like Deming kind of modeling. It was fantastic. It was fun to watch it. See a young organization kind of like continuing to update their lines. I'm coming to this Silver Symposium as kind of a tech guy with AI and crypto and lots of different things, but I need to try to figure out the intersection between tech in the precious metals currently and kind of where it's going in the future, some potential opportunities. So that was a really interesting beginning of this little journey of mine to see the actual printing of it.
Cool. Here, I'll pass that back up to Jason. Okay, Jason, when you were doing math in your head, and we all got to hold that 1,200 ounce bars.
1,000 ounce.
Or they 1,000 ounce bars, 70 pounds. I think they were 70 pounds a piece. And they were palletized in like 32 to a pallet. So if you desire to do some math, they roughly broke down to about $500,000 per pallet of 1,000 ounce bars.
Yeah.
And it was...
And there were multiple pallets.
Yeah, there was in single sections, and there was multiple sections, probably a half a dozen to a dozen sections of silver 100 ounce bars, row after row. Each section was probably worth in that neighborhood of $30 to $35 million, and they had a dozen sections like that.
Yeah, no.
Obviously, from the frontline inputs with the initial exploration, which you guys do, you and Mark are here as contributors to, what was one thing that really impressed you at the scale? What did you hear about the scale of operation there?
Well, we're often talk about 50 million ounce silver deposits, 100 million ounce silver deposits. And we are seeing that in that warehouse. Like that's one deposit that'll get mined, or in there's probably 2 or 3 or 4. So the scale for us was magnificent just to see that how many mines were represented just in that warehouse.
Right. And just to give you an idea, in Sunshine, just having the opportunity to listen to their CEO and go off the drop of my head, I'm drawing a blank. Remind me, is it
Tom Power?
Tom Power, that's correct. Very polished, has great expertise, a lot of tenure in the industry, yet it was these stats that really fascinated me about this facility. The fact that they are responsible for 65% of the minted volume of American silver eagles, or of coins in general in the United States, domestic, and 40% of the world's minting is done here. And they are for over 200 different countries will license their minted production to Sunshine, and Sunshine will cut the dies. They'll take all of the imagery and they'll produce these coins for all these different countries. The wealth of the world was sitting in that place.
Yeah.
How much do you think, Nathaniel, was in there? If you had to guess, like, how much do you think was in there?
I'd say they had about $60 million of inventory.
No. Well, if one section was 35 million.
Yeah,
Let's talk to the finance guy.
Yeah,
talk about
no,
that,
seriously,
guys.
there's-
How many bitcoins were in there?
There was probably $500 million worth of silver in
that's
there.
what
I would
yeah.
say, yeah, absolutely, and
Of
more
silver.
coming of silver, and there's gold on top of that, and they're doing platinum out of there as well a little bit too, which is interesting.
Okay,
and,
so
and the
let's-
coins are wonderful. I'm a coin collector, and I loved seeing them. They're actually still striking coins with Queen Elizabeth on it, which is a little bit outdated now.
Yeah.
But
And we saw the 10-ounce coin, the King Charles coin. You can hang on to that here. So we saw that 10-ounce King Charles coin. Did you guys hold that? I
The
think
224.
yeah, the
2024,
brand new
yeah.
one coming on that has his crest. And there's, you learn interesting information about monarchs, and these new coins are super collectible. What did you guys see in there that was cool?
What Tom said with the Queen Elizabeth thing, the day she died, the very next day, the Royal Guard or something, like the security from UK, was there to pick up all of her
the dies.
her dies
No
at the
way.
very next day. So a very fascinating thing being in Las Vegas, and the very next day they were
Why would they
immediately
do
over
that?
here.
Why would they do that, Nathaniel?
I don't know the whole background behind it, but
Mark will
No,
know.
there's reasoning why.
look
Yeah,
that
I mean,
up.
every time a monarch changes in the UK, it's changed the coins instantly. And there's been instances, like back in the 40s, where one of the kings changed, and they didn't change the dies quick enough. They produced a whole bunch of coins, with the old king on it, and they became like super valuable. And they were no longer good for currency because the value of them was skyrocketing because they were just so rare and unique. So it's interesting how these things happen from time to time.
And in the UK, Queen Elizabeth she's very special. You just think about her reign; it's a very special. A lot of history was there, and people loved Queen Elizabeth. What's the feeling, for the king now?
Maybe not as much.
I would
Maybe
say
not
it's
as much. We'll
strong,
see.
no.
They like William better.
Because in here being Canadian, King Charles represents, what is it, a quarter of the world's land mass is underneath the monarch of
Commonwealth.
the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
So what is it like being a Canadian right now, knowing you have a new king? Like, what do you have Justin Trudeau. He's a jewel. He's the crown jewel of Canada.
He's our princess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Justin. Got to say it like it is. What's the word on the street about King Charles? Obviously, with respect, he's your king.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't pay as much attention to the monarchy. It's interesting, but I don't.
Okay.
It's not something I think about day to day. Except the one place I've seen it is we have a designation for lawyers in Canada, a high
Okay.
designation,
Okay.
and it's Queen's Counsel.
Queen's Counsel.
And then the day the Queen passed away and Prince Charles then became the king, then it was King's Counsel, and it took a long time for people to get for me. That was the only thing that
interesting.
is now
Okay.
they're King's Counsel.
Yeah, they're
So
King's
that's it.
Counsel.
And I know a couple guys that are King's Counsel, and so it was tough to get that
Interesting.
back into the lingo. So
Yeah, because you're not obviously English, yet you abide by those rules. So they drink tea at high noon. I mean, is there still people in Canada that drink tea at high noon?
yeah, you can go to Victoria, the Empress Hotel, and they have high tea.
I've heard about
but
that.
I've-
Okay.
I've never done it.
Have you
myself,
ever
so,
done high
no,
tea?
I haven't.
I've done
Never?
high
No.
tea at the Victoria.
Have you?
Yeah, or
There you
yep,
go.
at the, whatever it's called in
Yeah, the
Victoria.
Empress Hotel.
It's a cool culture piece. So tell me about the political landscape in Canada. Like one thing that is similar to what's going on in the United States, maybe. Like what's going on? Your population is about a tenth of the U.S. Mainland, I suppose. What's going on in Canada that you guys are really watching out for in your industry? Go ahead.
Well, there's lots of stuff going on. There's a real focus on the metals world on focusing on tech metals, the metals that are used in more advanced things. Like we're working in silver. A lot of it is used in solar panels now, and so there's growing needs of silver in the worldwide. A lot of other metals, rare earths, they're looking for, and the government's trying to promote that as well. They're doing lots of other kind of crazy things to hurt other industries, but when they're trying to promote things to do positive stuff, that's what we focus on and try and advance our companies and keep them going that way. And Canada's been growing a lot. We've had a lot of immigration. I think we had 1 million people come into Canada last year.
Okay.
So that more than anything is causing a bit of a housing shortage, but
Sure.
they're working on that.
Oh man, real estate in Canada is savage
It
in
is.
Vancouver. I don't know what it's like right now. Yet it'll be
Insane.
interesting to see how that works out up there. Well, hey, here was the intention. One, it was to give you an opportunity to first hear about a really exclusive, I would say, opportunity to visit an actual mint that is producing from smelting to receiving in the I don't know, what is the frontline product, those big 1,000-ounce bars,
yeah.
and being able to produce that is really special to see. And there is no shortage in silver in that facility, or gold. Although we didn't see much gold, did we?
Just a little
they're
bit.
Just
a
a little
bit
bit
more
of gold.
area,
A little bit of gold. And was it you that said that they were processing 500,000 ounces of gold a month?
No.
That's what one of the guys
Yeah,
said.
one of the
Really, eh?
guys said that. Yeah.
Yeah, that they're producing 500,000 ounces of gold every month out of that facility.
Wow.
Oh, and we're reconnecting in Las Vegas? Go. Well, hey, we're going to end there. It was an awesome trip. We're excited to be able to bring new and interesting information about the event. If you're not, I don't know if you guys heard that or not. I know you can live stream this, so there are certain aspects I don't know. If you desire to be part of this event and listen to some of these speakers, it would be a great thing. You guys can find it. Hey, we're at the Silver Symposium right now, Caesar's Palace. Talk to you guys later. Thanks, guys.
Oh, thank you. That was fun.